Welcome to Inside the Park on FSPN, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball. I'm Uncle Muggs, and alongside me, as always, is Anthony Chappy Castillo.
My man Muggs, it is amazing to be back, brother. I appreciate you for having me back.
Hey, how was Egypt?
Not what you expected.
And I was hoping you would come back with Sandy Alomar Jr.
Yeah, the only thing I came back was with very, very sandy.
Great job filling in for you, and I appreciate that very much. But, brother man, that's your seat.
Appreciate you for having me back on, brother.
Today's show is brought to us by our good friends at Florida State Tentless Termite Treatment. You can forget about the hassle of tenting and evacuating your home. The tentless treatment means no disruption of your life. Florida State Tentless Solution is eco-friendly, pet-friendly, and safe for your family. And it targets termites right where they live, deep inside of your house. Call Florida State today and get your free inspection. They've been keeping Florida homes safe for over 25 years. Call 305-669-9292 or visit their website at www.woodtermite.com. All right, Chappy, it's time for the first pitch player profile. What do you have for us this week?
My brother, we have some amazing content, some amazing games that were played, some great 2026 profiles. So we'll start the action over at True North as they faced West Broward Prep. A pair of aces were dealt in the Titans versus Bobcats matchup, and it was just 2026 arms for each ball club. True North rolled out Alex Diaz, who was subject to a loss, but commanded his fastball and mixed in a great curveball and showed some great presence on the mound. Now, West Broward gave the rock to ace Braden Aguila, who was rattled with some small ball, but he ended up settling in for the Bobcats, and his defense was led by his catcher, their battery mate, Manuel Sarcos, and he was the key to their victory. Sarcos, who is a catch and plus throw tool set, throwing out 3 base runners in this game, and on the offensive side, he showed some poolside pop with a double, getting things early for the Bobcats. This team is led by a lot of 2026 prospects, and I'm really looking forward to this club throughout the season. Now let's shift our attention into West Kendall, where I got the opportunity to watch Sunset versus South Miami. South Miami has a shortstop, class of 2025, named Yan Gonzalez Valdez. He showed some great hands defensively and the ability to be a spark plug in the lineup. Now, South Miami was edged out by Miami Sunset, who was led by a right-handed pitcher of 2025 on the mound named Joshua Perez. Perez showed his swing and miss stuff, punching out 6 total in the first 3 innings of work. Sunset also brought a bright future of class of 2027, and he is the son of ex-Major League All-Star left-handed pitcher Francisco Liriano. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree here, as Kevin Liriano has incredible talent. Staying in the West Kendall area, we have another bulldog, pun intended. Class of 2025 catcher outfielder Sebastian Llamosas. He's a first-pitch certified student-athlete, and he's looking to make a commitment soon into the next level. This student-athlete, he went deep in Newtown, and he possesses raw power to all fields. Let's keep our attention in West Kendall and the Varela Vipers. This is one of the deepest classes of 2026 talent-wise in all of Dade County. And we're going to start with Jonathan Paniagua, the third baseman outfielder and also a right-handed pitcher. He was stellar at the dish versus Westminster Christian. He led off the game with a bomb to left center and continued his success at the plate with a double, a single, and was just a triple shy to complete the cycle in this ballgame. Now behind the plate for the Vipers is another class of 2026, Alexander Gonzalez, who possesses all the right qualities and attributes for a catcher. He receives and he frames pitches very well, shows an accurate and strong arm, and has some pop at the plate. Really looking forward to the Vipers this season, and I'm going to nail it in right now on this segment. Varela will be in the regional tournament.
That's pretty big. Look, I got them up right here because I know they came big this week.
Absolutely.
Well, Chappy, again, you never cease to amaze me with how you're able to get the right player at the exact time and the quality of the video. Once again, it's fantastic, and it's a great thing what you're doing for these kids. Mira, Choca.
Appreciate it, Macho.
Good job, man. I wish I could chest bump you right now. You want? Can we chest bump?
Nah.
We'll try that.
We'll try it later.
Oh, sorry, we're gonna mess up the microphones.
Now it's time for the weekly recap. What do you have for us, brother, in the 4th week of the season?
Yes, sir. I love the weekly recap. It's where we go over the teams and the weekly scores on games that took place in Miami-Dade and Broward County.
This week, there was a very, very high-scoring games, and some of them even looked like football scores and not even baseball. But there were some close ones as well, and even a no-hitter, a huge upset, and a game that went into overtime. Muggs, what do you have for us in this week's recap? Bro, what the... Are you... Tú no estás bien de la cabeza, bro. You're not good, bro.
Oh, but you said high scoring. You said football and overtime. So I'm just trying to keep things in order here. And to all you teams out there that are scoring all these runs in just one game, mira, penalty for you. For example, the Sunset Knights, you put up 10 runs in a shutout against the visiting Cobras on Monday. And how about those LaSalle Royal Lions that scored 18 runs in their games? Do you guys really need that many runs? Mira, a flag on you. What about Ferguson with 15 runs and a one-hitter to go along with that to beat Goldman? ¿Y qué me dices de Hialeah Miami Lakes and the Marathon Dolphins both scoring 13 runs in their wins on Monday? And to top things off, Downtown Doral and Miami High scored 31 runs combined in their game that the Dolphins lost 20-11 after playing 4 games in just as many days with scores of 11-1 versus Slam, 10-4 versus Hialeah Miami Lakes, and a loss 14-4 to Ransom. Mira, you guys should be illegal. What you guys are doing. You're making baseball games look like football games, and with the scores that high, you're going to get people confused. Even Northwestern, the Bulls, they scored 11 runs on Monday. And on Thursday, they scored 25 more runs. And this is Northwestern. Chappy, there was over 210 runs scored in combined games on Monday and only 20 games that were played. That's an average of 11 runs per game.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. The amount of runs that were scored this week was incredible.
I mean, they were doing double reverses, blocking punts.
No, yeah, Hail Marys, all kinds of Hail Marys, and eso fue por gusto.
The Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars did beat the Cooper City Cowboys on Monday with a very normal baseball score of 5-1. So good job, you guys. Then they lost to the South Broward Bulldogs on Tuesday at home 2-1. The Jags are now 5-4, and coming into Thursday's FSPN game at Doral Academy, the Jaguars, after a shaky start to the season, have won 4 out of their last 5. They came into Doral Academy to face the Firebirds, and they were looking for an upset. The Firebirds have won 6 in a row themselves, and they sent their big righty on the mound, Aaron Elisalt, to try to shut down the opponents from Broward. But things didn't go the Firebirds' way, and the Jaguars got off to an early lead. Then the Firebirds came back to take the lead in the bottom of the third. The Jaguars came back to retake the lead 4-2 and then 5-2, and it was all Jaguars until the 7th. The Firebirds came back in the bottom of the 7th, and twice they were down to their last strike. But Brian Mesa and Leandro Hernandez came through with some huge 2-out hits, and the game ended 5-5 because of darkness, and not even Elon Musk's blown-up rocket could help the Jaguars in that one.
This is a must-see game that you can watch right here on FSPN. The Jaguars have the MacArthur Mustangs and Coral Springs before they come down to face the Mater Academy Lions on March 14th on another FSPN televised game.
Varela and Mater Lakes played to a 6-6 tie on Monday. The Vipers played the Warriors of Westminster on Wednesday, and the Vipers pulled out the upset, beating Emil's Warriors, 15-6. So another flag for you guys for scoring too many runs. Miami Brito beat Dade Christian 3-2, getting 2 in the bottom of the 6th in a come-from-behind win for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Varela as they continue the season and for the Panthers.
But in the game of the day on Monday night that was held at Alex Rodriguez Field on the campus of the University of Miami, the Warriors of Westminster took on the Columbus Explorers. And it was Alex Rodriguez himself that threw out the first pitch. There was a great crowd on hand for both teams, and it was to benefit a great cause, the Ari Arteaga Foundation, Be the Light. Emil sent his Warrior on the mound, junior left-handed pitcher Aaron Hernandez, to face Matthew Rios and his Columbus Explorers. Hernandez looked good for the first 4 innings, keeping the Explorers off balance, using both sides of the plate very effectively. The Columbus pitcher, right-hander Matthew Rios, who's no stranger to the big lights, got the start for the Explorers. The game was scoreless through 5 innings, with the Warrior pitcher Hernandez only giving up 3 hits. Meanwhile, Matthew Rios was quietly working on a no-no. through 4 innings using a nasty wipeout slider, and his Explorers were helping him out on defense. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Explorer bats came alive. They scored 5 runs and chased the Warrior starter Hernandez from the game. And that's all Rios would need. He went back to painting his masterpiece until he reached the pitch limit, and after 6 1/3 innings, he recorded 8 strikeouts. Matthew walked off Alex Rodriguez Field with a no-hitter for the Explorers. Jason Vasquez came in to get the final 2 outs, and the teammates combined for a no-no. They no-hit the Warriors.
Wow, that's impressive. Westminster Warriors are always a great ball club, so to be able to do that and shut them down is an impressive feat.
On Wednesday, the Explorers gave the Ferguson Falcons 10 por la cabeza in a 10-0 shutout. Mira, another flag for you guys,
sure.
scoring too many runs. And on Friday, Weber and his Explorers welcomed Arby and the Gulliver Prep Raiders to Huachete y le metieron 10 más por la cabeza. So, scoring too many runs over there, Columbus.
The Explorers, they've won 8 in a row since their loss to Florida Christian back on February 14th. Columbus improves to 9-1 on the season and are showing everyone that they are one of the best teams in all of South Florida. Next week, Columbus has 3 consecutive games with JCB, Palmetto, and Correa, all at the lights at Westchester.
On Tuesday, Chaminade Madonna, who is 7-2 on the season, hosted Briggy's Patriots that are 6-2 in a District 14 2A matchup, which could be a regional preview. Chaminade beat the Patriots 12-2, but the Patriots were leading 2-1 in this game until the bottom of the 5th. On Friday night, the Patriots hosted Belém Wolverines, and Jesse's Wolverines needed a big win over a quality team, and they got one, beating the Patriots 6-2.
The Patriots are looking to bounce back on Saturday when they take on the Barracudas of Coral Reef on Saturday night. Then they'll play Pace on Tuesday in a game that will be featured right here on FSPN. The Wolverines, they don't have it easy next week either. They play at Miami Christian, at Westminster, and Southwest, all in the same week.
The American Heritage Patriots came to visit these Jesse Wolverines on Tuesday, and they put up 11 on the host. Y mira, that's not right. You can't come into somebody's house
Ay, pitazo.
and score 11 points. After starting the season 3-0, the Wolverines have dropped 6 in a row. Belém faced the Terra Wolves on Tuesday. Y se les quitaron the losing streak by putting up 11 runs on their own in a win over the Amari Sanchez-led Wolves of Terra 11-1. On Friday, the Wolverines came to Florida Christian and to take on Briggy's Patriots, and he beat them 6-2. So now let's go up to Broward County and talk about the Breezy Boys of West Broward. They took on the Giant Killers, the True North Titans, at home on Tuesday and handed the Titans a 6-2 loss. The Breezy Boys put up 4 in the 6th inning in a come-from-behind victory. Brandon Aguila pitched 6 innings, allowing just 1 run and striking out 7. And the Bobcats were feeling confident going into Friday's game against the Douglas Eagles. But it was the Eagles that were confident, beating the B-Boys 12-5.
The Breezy Boys, they got Taravella next, and that's a great team for the next 5. That's a great team that's going on to be as a 5-5 for the rest of the season.
On the FSPN Friday night game, the 5-5 Killian Cougars went up to Hialeah Gardens to take on the Matter Academy Lions that are 5-6 on the season.
Yeah, I heard that you threw out the ceremonial first pitch at that game. How was that?
Man, Chappy, that's something that I would never forget for the rest of my life. You know, it's no secret to everybody that those are my 2 favorite teams. I love the Cougars, and I always will. And me and Humberto go way back. So for me, it couldn't have been a better game for me to throw out the first pitch. And I was so nervous, man, I almost put one into the backstop. If it wasn't for a great play by catcher Andy Castillo, it would have hit the backstop. So thank you, Andy, and thank you for everyone at Matter for letting me do that. It was very, very special to me.
All right, Muggsy, so talk to me about ¿Qué pasó en Hialeah? How was the game?
Oh, yeah. There was a game. The Lions won 11-5. And congrats to Alfred Rosario for being named the Pitcher of the Month in Dade County for private schools with 29 strikeouts. And he also had 3 hits in that game against the Cougars.
So Matter plays Correa on Monday at FIU Stadium in a game in which you can watch right here on FSPN.
The 5-2 Key West Conchs traveled north for the first time this season to play the St. Thomas Aquinas in Fort Lauderdale. The Raiders are led by their head coach, Joey Wardlow, in his 8th year at the helm of the Raiders. The St. Thomas Raiders are 6-3-1 with a recent win over the defending state champions Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs, and they had a very close game against Douglas Eagles. They lost 3-1. The Raiders lost to the visiting Conks 10-3. Mira, 10 por la cabeza. And Ralph Enriquez, here's a flag for you for scoring too many runs. The Conks showed everyone that they can win big games on the road as well as at home.
The Raiders, they travel to Tampa this weekend to take on Gaither and the defending state champions, Tampa Jesuit. Now the Conks host the Westminster Warriors this weekend at Rex Weech Field. And on Friday night, Westminster Warriors shut out Key West 5-0. Both teams play again on Saturday.
Sticking to the Broward County theme, the University Sharks that are led by their head coach, Dan Rovetto, they're 9-2 this season. The Sharks started the season with 7 consecutive wins before losing one to the Key West Conks last weekend. The Sharks dropped one to the Pinecrest Panthers on Tuesday, but they bounced back to beat a very good Monsignor Pace team 5-3 on Friday. The Sharks played the Paladins of South Plantation, and they put 20 on the South Plantation Paladins, and you know what you're getting. You're getting a flag for scoring too many runs.
Coach Rovetto has a very, very good ball club this year, and the Sharks will be in the mix when it counts later in the season. University will play Gulf Coast Sharks and a strong Jupiter Warrior team next week. Now, that's a coach we need to come and get on this show. I think Dan Rovetto would be a great fit.
Well, let me let you in on a little secret. In other scores around the league, the Hawks of Miami Springs are on a roll. The only undefeated team in the county at 9-0, and they've beaten some quality teams like Saint Brendan's, Miami Christian, Southwest, and Westminster with good pitching and timely hitting. But on Friday, they suffered their first loss of the season to Cohia. That's right, Cohia has pulled up the upset of the week, beating the Golden Hawks 3-1. Jaden Lau threw 6 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit and recording 11 strikeouts.
The Hawks play Matter Lakes and American High next week before a showdown with Belen on the following Tuesday.
Wow, Chappy, what a week, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, man, this week was just full of ups and downs with all these games and demasiado pitazo, man. You know, those whistle blowing with all those
I'm telling you,
flags, man.
You guys scoring all those runs, man.
Yeah, demasiado.
Take it easy. How about a 3-1 game? Enough of that.
Yeah, man.
So everyone, stay tuned. The player spotlight is next, and then it's the popular segment that everybody loves. It's the Coach's Corner. Coming up right after this, you're watching Inside the Park on FSPN. Don't change that channel, and don't score so many runs.
No, keep scoring. I like the offense. I'm trying to get more
like so
content.
Many flags. Tengo flags hasta por gusto. Three, two, one. Welcome back to Inside the Park, your weekly recap show for South Florida high school baseball. And now it's time for the player spotlight. Our guest today is the junior right-handed pitcher and the shortstop for the Saint Brendan Sabres. It's Mr. JAN Perez Fernandez. John, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Uncle Mux. I really appreciate it for you having me here. I love the studio, man. It's great. I see the hat you got going on right here. It's perfect. It matches the color, too. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, it's not green by accident, buddy.
Yes,
know,
sir.
we're all green here today. We
Yes,
got
sir.
the green things going on.
That's right.
So thank you again, JP. Bueno, can I call you JP?
Yes, sir. That's my nickname. That's how everyone
That's
calls
what
me.
everybody calls
Yes,
you.
sir.
Está bien, entonces we're going to go with JP, but I'd rather call you Big Game James. Like
sir.
James Worthy. Remember the basketball guy?
Right.
Man, he would step up his game on big games, and that's kind of like what you're doing.
Yes,
so, brother, I don't know where to start with you. I mean, you're becoming a lights-out pitcher. You're just a junior. You're going really deep into games, but you're also hitting over 300. Describe to us what it's like to be a two-way player.
Well, it definitely involves a lot of hard work and practice. You always got to, you're here pitching, you're here hitting. It's hard. You just got to trust your coaches and just keep working. That's how I do it.
All right, let's talk about the pitching first. So far this season, you've started some really big games for the Sabres. The first one was a 7-inning shutout masterpiece against the Miami Beach High Tides that you guys won 1-0. What can you tell me about that outing?
Well, about that outing, man, we as a team we couldn't hit, so I had to step up as a pitcher and give my team a chance. Then Mason, a freshman, came in for Brendan Roca, and he got a clutch hit to win the game. So that helped us a lot to get that W.
All right, your next start was against the powerful Doral Firebirds at home in a game that you can watch right here on FSPN. You go into the library of games and you can click on the one for the Firebirds and you're going to see a really great game. Describe to us that outing and how that was like, because I saw that game and it seemed like that was a battle.
That was definitely a crazy game. I mean, my mindset was, I don't care who you are, I'm going after you. So that really helped me a lot through that game. And my teammates too, they made the plays. Luchi Nava made 3 great catches in the outfield. Infield worked really hard and our hitting came in clutch. Actually, after they hit that home run, I was the hitter who got the runs back for my team. So I'm actually glad that I did that.
That was good, man. But you guys lost it there at the
Yes,
end.
sir.
That was a heartbreaker. But then you guys had a couple other good games that you won. And I don't want to say it was an upset, but it was an upset. You guys beat Belém, a really good Belém team at home. So after that game, you guys played a really good Miami Springs team. I mean, one of the best teams in Dade County and one of the best pitchers on the mound in Kevin Roque. And you guys were in that game all the way until the end. What can you tell us about that Miami Springs game?
Well, we definitely made some errors, mental errors in the infield, outfield too. The bats were going, yeah. We had Kevin Leon getting some hits. I was pitching too. I did my job. You can control everything in the field. But I didn't say we played bad. We played with heart. We went there to win, and we didn't get it our way, but it's fine.
You know, I haven't really looked at all the scores, but I think you guys have been in every game.
Right.
You haven't gotten blown out by anybody, and you've been scrapping it out for every game. All right, the very last start that you've done was last Wednesday when you faced a very powerful Matter Academy Lion team. They came into Saint Brendan's field, and they have about, 7 or 8 committed players, and you were able to keep them in check. You threw a complete game, allowing just 3 hits and striking out 7. And how did that feel, and what was the strategy going into that game?
Well, definitely feels good, man. You know, when you go against this type of teams with their big lineups, big names, with like Yodelski and all these people like that in the team, you for sure like want to beat those guys. That's the team you want to play. And my strategy was, stay away from the plate, let them swing the bat, let them get themselves out. You know what I'm saying? And it felt great. It felt great beating that good team, and it really started our momentum for the next week.
All right. I don't know if you single out any teams during the season, but looking forward, we still have about 3/4 of the season left. Are there any teams that you're looking forward to play, or you just look at them all the same?
Definitely. Obviously, Tuesday we play at UM. That's one game I'm actually looking forward to. I'm pitching that game too.
Oh, man.
So, yes, sir. But, I mean, we just got to treat every team the same. They want to win. We want to win too. That's everyone's goal, So we just got to play our game inning by inning, pitch by pitch.
All right, let's talk about this 2025 team, the B-Boys, the Saint Brendan Sabres. And I love watching you guys. You guys are very entertaining, one of the best teams in Dade County to come and watch. So if you're ever in Wachete and, 6 o'clock comes around, you're going to have a good game there at Saint Brendan's field. So you have a stud on first base, Kevin Leong. You have the scrappy sophomore over there, Luchi Nava, crashing into walls and making all these exciting plays, and he's just a sophomore. And then you got the big fullback playing third base over there, Triple G, Guzman Garcia over there, and some great hitters, like Rizzo's a great hitter, B-Rock, and you can't forget Mr. No-No, Upi Puente, throwing no-hitters all over the place.
Yes, sir.
How would you, in your words, how would you best describe the Saint Brendan's team, and what are some of the expectations that you have in the remainder of the season?
Well, we're definitely more locked in than last year. Last year was a good team, yeah, but this year we have more talent, if you want to put it that way. I think we just wanted more. We want to win districts. We want to make states. Every game we got to make a statement, and that's our goal.
So do I call right now Airbnb and tell them to book a few hotel rooms?
That's for sure, man.
We're going to Fort Myers?
That's for sure.
We're going to Fort Myers.
We're going.
Robles, te va a costar, but we're going to Fort Myers, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me what it's like to play for Jorge Robles. I know he's a dedicated coach. I see him throwing BP there all the time. And also tell me what it's like to be a student at Saint Brendan's.
Well, I really appreciate Robles because he has helped me a lot as an infielder, hitter, pitcher. He talks to our guys. He's not the type of guy to be quiet and that's it. Like if you're doing something wrong, he's gonna talk to you. And yeah, you just gotta listen to him. And when it comes to school, yeah, grades matter. You know, we actually get a lot of help from our teachers in school. We have some time after school that we can have some tutoring going on with math or any class we need. So yeah, I think the school does a very good job for us too.
Awesome. Well, I wish you, Chokai, I wish you and your boys
Yes, sir.
The best of luck in the remainder of the season. I'm going to be looking out for you. And now we're going to have some fun.
Let's go.
We have a segment that we call the change-up, okay? And it's where we ask you 3 questions that have nothing to do about baseball in a way for our audience and your fans to get to know JAN Perez Fernandez a little bit better.
Yes, sir.
You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, question number 1. Is JAN Perez Fernandez a cat person or a dog person?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a dog person. I have actually 3 dogs at my house right now.
3? 3?
Mm-hmm.
Which way? What are the names?
I got Brownie, Lola, and I call him Pedro.
Pedro, all right. So he's a dog guy. Most baseball people are dog guys.
Right.
All right. Second question. What is your favorite, sports car? Like, if you won the lottery tomorrow, what exotic car would you go out and buy?
You know, I have to go with a Lamborghini, man.
Lamborghini.
I have to go with that.
Italian.
Yep.
All right.
Cannot miss.
12-cylinder.
Yes,
¿De qué
sir.
color?
Probably go red with it.
Red?
Yeah.
Damn, boy. You want to get a ticket.
I
don't
wanna.
you? All right, folks. And this one, everybody has to think about. What is JAN Perez Fernandez's favorite restaurant, and what do you order when you go there?
This is definitely a hard question, man. I eat a lot. But definitely Olive Garden, man. I love the pasta.
Oh, okay.
I love the pasta there. It's great. The chicken's great too. So I might go with that one.
All right, that's a classic. There's nothing
Yes, sir.
wrong with that, man.
Yes,
I've
sir.
gone to all you can eat salad and the
Right.
bread and all that stuff. I love it, man. I
Yes,
love
sir.
it. Well, there you have it, folks. If you didn't know him before, you know him now. He's JAN Perez Fernandez, a pitcher for the Sabres, and he likes to eat his pasta while he's driving his Ferrari with Brownie and Pedro in the car with him.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Okay, thanks for coming by. Thanks for taking your time. I really appreciate it. And now it's your tube. It's your YouTube. Time to shout out. Who you going to give a shout out to?
Nah, I really gotta give a shout out to my coach, Sebastian Fernandez, man. He's always looking out for me.
That's right.
Always there working with me. And the catcher Rizzo, always going to war with me every time I pitch. That guy has my back every time, for sure.
Those are good shout outs. And let me just tell you, college coaches out there, you college recruiters right now, I'm going to save you some gas and some airfare. Here's your guy right here. He's a junior, and you'll be lucky to have him on your team. You're not going to find a better student or a better teammate than JAN Perez Fernandez. And again, buddy, thank you very much for being, and I wish you the best.
Thank you for having me here, man.
All right, stay tuned, everyone. Our final segment is coming up. It's the Coach's Corner, and we have a really good one for you today. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram, and we'll be right back inside the park. Thanks for watching FSPN. Welcome back to Inside the Park, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball right here on FSPN. And now it's time for that ever-popular segment on the show called the Coach's Corner. The Coach's Corner is brought to you by the actual Coach's Corner, a complete printing service, not only for printing, but they do caps, uniforms, banners, promotional items as well. Please give them a call for all of your printing needs. Okay, our guest today, he's been a scout in the major leagues for teams like the Los Angeles Angels and the Seattle Mariners. He's been with his current school for 4 years, and his current team has a record of 10-2 this season, and they're the talk of the town. Our guest coach today is Dan Rovetto. Dan, welcome to the Coach's Corner.
Appreciate you guys taking the time to have me on and specifically highlighting all the good things that are going on in high school baseball. A lot of good things to talk about, discuss, and shine the light on some of these kids in these programs.
First of all, Coach, I want to say congratulations on a tremendous start to the season. So much success. And before we get into this year's team, take us through your baseball journey and how you ended up as a coach of the University Sharks.
Grew up in South Florida, played at Nova High School for legendary coach Pat McQuaid. Was able to be guided by him throughout my high school years. Ended up at Broward Junior College, where I played with for Mike Silvestri. Mike is another mentor of mine, helped guide me through some times in my life. He's the one who introduced me to professional baseball with the Angels, and allowed me to get opportunities that I probably wouldn't have through him. Still a guy that I call a friend. I call him coach still because he'll always be my coach. And then I ended up going to Lynn University, where I graduated with a degree in sports management. Played my final 2 years there. Worked at Chaminade Madonna for a little bit as the associate athletic director, and then went back out into the pro world, scouting parts of Latin America, South Florida, Puerto Rico, as well as doing some work in the Dominican Summer League as a hitting coordinator and some things like that.
Yeah, Mike's a good friend. I had him on the show as a guest announcer, and he did a great job. He can take my job if he wants to. So how did you end up coaching, and how did you get into coaching?
So when I graduated from Lynn, one of Mike's childhood friends is Paul Herford. Paul is my boss now at university school. Paul was actually in and out of pro ball, very similar to me. He's a bit older, but was spent some time in the front office with the Rockies, was on the field with Texas. When I graduated, Mike linked me up with Paul, who was deciding to come back home and be the head athletic director at Chaminade. And that's where he was leaving Arizona at the time from his pro days, and took that job, and he hired me as the assistant athletic director, and I was his assistant coach. That's how I ended up getting into coaching.
Awesome. So hey, yeah, let's get started with this 2025 season, because I mean we're 3 weeks into the season and things are getting good, and you guys started off 7-0. And did you ever imagine before the season started that you'd be able to get off to such a great start like you have? And what do you attribute this success to?
Well, the success is from building it the right way, to be honest with you. After COVID, we started this program over. And these kids that are on the field now, they're all seniors. They've all been with us since, some even 8th grade, but almost all 9th grade. And we've built it the right way with, being loyal to the kids. So to say that we got off to the start, I would hope we would, as many at bats and plate appearances and innings pitched that we did come into the year with. That is an expectation to get better. And we started off hot. We lost our number one arm in the 3rd inning of the season. He's having Tommy John on Monday. So, that was a bit devastating in inning 3 of opening day. But that shows you the fight and the adversity of these kids to get off to this run that we're off to right now, picking up the pieces and just guys contributing. It's, the blue collar work ethic and mentality that we talk about.
And this is your 4th year at university, right?
This is my 4th year back since being with Seattle. Correct.
All right. So, Coach, you earlier, like maybe a couple of weeks ago or last weekend, you went down to play against the Key West Conchs. And I was there, I think, a week before you to cover a Miami Christian game. And I got to hang out with Jack Niles and head coach Enriquez and his son Ralphie. Describe to us the atmosphere down there and what it's like to play there, and what your team's experience was like going down to the Keys to play baseball.
Well, those guys are great baseball people. I spent a lot of time in Key West in particular with my family down there quite a bit. I actually started the Monroe County Scout Day with Major League Baseball, where we bring all the Major League teams down to Key West for the kids in Monroe County from Marathon, Coral Shores. We do that every September. We've continued that tradition. But the great part about this is that these boys that I started with 4 years ago, we did opening weekend down there when they were freshmen, and they were pushed around physically, mentally, by the Conchs. And what an environment it is down there. You better have a tough son of a gun in right field if you're going to deal with that. And it's been nice to see our kids compete. We came into that weekend last weekend 0-3 against Key West. They came up and they beat the crap out of us last year at NSU. And to go down there and compete the way we did, it shows you the progress that we've made. But much respect to Coach Enriquez, everything he's done. Jack Niles is a big part of that program, and Ralphie Jr., really stepping up and making things happen for them. That's that's a special place to play high school baseball from the community standpoint, but it's also a special work ethic that they have down there. It's unmatched in my opinion.
I agree 1,000%. Fell in love with the place. Those guys are unbelievable. They took me in from the first minute I got out of the car. Ralphie gave me a big hug, and it felt like I was going to visit family. But let's talk about this current 2025 squad. Tell me about some of these athletes you have on there, because some of them are like multi-sport athletes. And then tell me a little bit about what your expectations are for the remainder of the season.
Well, part of my thought process as a baseball guy is I hate year-round baseball. I like multi-sport kids. I don't think it's healthy to play baseball year-round, especially in game settings. I would say that 70% of our starting lineup played varsity football. I have all county middle linebackers catching behind the dish for me. The entire outfield are skill guys on the football field. Our third baseman is a defensive end. So in that skill set, that brings toughness. I'm a big proponent of the multi-sport kids. So we have two kids that are going to play college football in my starting lineup. To one of which is going to play college baseball as well, two sports at the next level. Division I catcher that's the first team all county middle linebacker. So it's just a different toughness that comes out of these kids. And quite frankly, when they get off the football field in Thanksgiving time, that general area, they're chomping at the bit to play baseball. And I really, really love that. There's that disconnect that makes them want it more. I have a couple kids that play golf, that are golfers as well. A couple of pitchers, of course. Nice. That's their background. But in grand total, it's about 60% or so of their starting lineup, and it's about 80% of our entire roster that I essentially forced to play other sports.
And it looked like you were playing football last night. You guys put 3 touchdowns on the board against the poor Paladins.
Yeah, offensive day. Wind was blowing a little bit. Our ballpark, as most people know, is a college ballpark. It's a big park. Sometimes when we get on the road, things change a little bit, especially from the offensive standpoint.
Coach, this year there was a district realignment, and your Sharks are now in a competitive Class 2A with teams like Westminster Warriors, Chaminade, Florida Christian, True North. What's your take on this class? And tell me, do I call Airbnb and make reservations for you guys in Fort Myers?
I don't know if it's going to be us, but it's going to be somebody who you just named. You named some pretty talented teams. Possibly the most talented that wasn't named is Cardinal Newman, which is in our region up in Palm Beach. Let's be frank. The step up money that the governor has decided to pass out has changed some levels of the Christian and Catholic school baseball, which was always very good, but it's much more affordable for families now. We're seeing a dive in of a lot of transfer kids going into those schools in particular. There's nothing we can do. We don't have a single transfer on our roster. I don't begrudge anybody for doing it. It's just not my mentality. I'm loyal to kids. I think if you go through most of their rosters on any given night, their starting lineup, there's major turnover. That's not us. That's not who we'll ever be. But there is a ton of talent in this classification, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get out of this South region. Let's put it that way.
Now, Coach, there's an interesting dynamic going on your team in this year's 2025 Shark team. You have your son Rocco on the team. And I know there's several coaches in South Florida out there that are in the same position as you. Tell us how that experience has been like. What have you learned, and what can you share with other coaches that are in a similar situation?
I think the first thing that I did was pick Jerry Albert's brain, who was at Belen Jesuit for a long time, about coaching his son Armando. Jerry's a good friend of mine. One of the best pieces of advice he gave me, and I'm going to be transparent, it's hard to do sometimes, is when that post-game huddle's over, is you become dad again. Don't continue to be coach in the car ride home when Rocco wasn't driving and in our house. And that's a difficult thing to do. To make sure that the lines of communication are always the same as far as when we're at the field. I'm coach. I am not dad. And then, once we get home, it's a different story. And that goes on both ends for both him and myself. Um, my pleasure has been to be able to be around him for the last 4 years, and not just him, but all the other kids that were aforementioned, which are his friends and kids he grew up playing youth baseball and football with. So that's one core group of kids that honestly, I treat them like they're all my own son. I'm hard on them. Their parents let me be hard on them the same way that I'm hard on my own. There's something in our program that's it's tough love. Rocco gets tough love. So does Pomper, Potter, Mila, Petty, all the kids that grew up with him. So my biggest joy is being able to spend that extra time with him after being away scouting. But honestly, I prefer to be a football dad. When my biggest joy was watching him play football, because I wasn't coach, and people don't come up to me at the football field, and I just watch him play. I talk to him differently about football, and that's his passion as well. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a ride, and I look forward to enjoying these last 2 months with Rocco for sure.
Coach, you mentioned earlier Mike Silvestri and the influence he had on you coaching. But what's your coaching philosophy like?
Ooh, I would say it's a bit old school. I would say that the Coach McQuaid's of the world, and it's really, I wouldn't call it a dictatorship, but you're going to do it my way in the program. And if you don't like it, then leave. I don't really care who you are, because I think that there's, I think that I was just at the park a couple hours ago, and I see these 11, 12U teams with all the travel bags and the earrings in and the headphones, and it makes me want to throw up, to be honest with you. And I don't play that. We're going to do it the right way. We're going to do it my way. We're going to clean up the dugouts. We're going to rake the fields. We're going to leave the opposing school's dugout better than we found it. And, Mike taught me that a lot. Paul Herford taught me that about how to write practice plans and organization and accountability. And I think that's what's lacking in our youth right now, not just in baseball, but all sports. It's about me instead of about a program. And I absolutely will not let that happen. But I will say that since I've been back, I haven't had a single kid transfer out. I haven't had one kid leave. And I think that's for the parents. The parents have gotten on board and they've been supportive of me. Every day is not always easy, but that's the way it's going to be in our program. It's one way, and it's the team's way. It's not Dan Rovetto's way. It's not Rocco's way. It's not Paul Herford's way. It's our way, and we do it together.
All right, folks, you're listening and watching head coach of the University Sharks, Dan Rovetto, here on Inside the Parks Coach's Corner segment. And, Coach, we have about 3/4 of the season left. Are there any games that you have circled or singled out, or somebody that you said, okay, we're down to play these guys, or we need to beat these guys? Do you look at them? Do you look at specific games, or you look at them all in general?
I mean, I think there's games that are special. Coaching, like West Boca this year, being on the field with Jerry Albert is always a special day for me. We got to honor Paul Barrios from Dr. Kropp a few weeks ago for his service to the high school baseball community. I'm just big on playing people that do it for the right reasons, coach for the right reasons, not monetary reasons, not travel ball reasons. So I do look forward to the opportunity to play Jerry Albert every single year. I tremendously was excited about going to Key West, but I would say that this upcoming week, we got a gauntlet in front of us. Jupiter coming into town. Joe Jamuli's another great high school baseball coach who does it for the right reasons. There's so many guys that, this industry has turned into, it's turned into more of a transactional industry, in my opinion. And there's less and less guys that are educators and teachers, both in the classroom and on the field. So I'm going to stick to scheduling those guys, not to the guys that, don't have the right interest and heart.
Coach, tell us something that we might not know about university, the school, and the athletic director and the administration over there.
So we're owned by Nova Southeastern University. We sit on the same campus as them. We have a pre-K through 12 school. Our school only has about 700 students in it at the upper school level. And I think what most people don't know is the amount of big leaguers that have come out of the actual college. Mike Fires, JD Martinez are some of the bigger names, Miles Mikolas. So great players come from everywhere. And in scouting, we learned that. I drafted 2 separate players. Jake Anchia was the highest pick out of Nova Southeastern University at that time. So the college has a lot to offer, and our academic success in the classroom that our kids have an opportunity based upon the level that they are academically to take some college classes at the university during our school day. So they can knock out college credits. Have a young man doing pre-law right now. He goes and takes some law classes at the college, business as well. So that's something that is a definite benefit to our student athletes. And we did finish in the top 5 in the GPA in our classification last year in the entire state. So I'm proud of that as well.
So, Coach, on this year's team, has there been any surprises? Who in particularly are a couple guys that have stood out so far this year for you?
I think Devin Mila is a guy that's one of our 2-sport guys going to Westminster College to play football and baseball. He's really stepped his game up for us by the numbers. He's always been an on-base guy. But it's been Griffin Pomper, our catcher, who's going to Jacksonville University, gonna play professional baseball one day. There's not a doubt in my mind. Left-handed catcher who we converted was a shortstop growing up. Him and Braden Potter, our center fielder, those 2 kids have an opportunity to play pro ball at some point in their career. I'm not saying it's going to be they're going to sign this year. I'm saying in time, those 2 kids have the skill sets and the competitiveness to play pro ball. So, you couple all that together with, a ballpark that's big, 3 skill guys in the outfield that are all football players that can run it down. We're going to pitch the contact, and it better be strike 1 or you're coming out of the game.
All right, Coach. Well, I wish you the very best of luck for the remainder of this season, and I hope to see you on the West Coast come May.
I hope so as well. Thank you for all you do for high school baseball.
Oh, wait, don't go away yet. Now it's time to have some fun, man. Enough about baseball. We have a segment here, and it's called The Change-Up, and it's where we ask you 3 questions that have absolutely nothing to do with baseball in a way for our viewers and your fans to get to know Coach Rovetto a little bit better. Are you ready for these?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is Coach Rovetto a Starbucks guy, Dunkin' Donuts, or do you do the Nespresso at home?
Coach Rovetto visits Dunkin' Donuts 377 times a year by the app that I have on my phone, which my wife complains about how much money I spend at Dunkin'.
What is it? What's your go-to drink there?
It's only hot coffee, a large hot coffee, cream, and 5 Splenda.
Okay.
Nothing foo-foo about me.
That's straight up, right? Okay. When you're not coaching and it's the off season and you want to just chill somewhere, what is Coach Rovetto's favorite vacation destination and why?
It's 100% Key West. I'm down there.
Oh, man.
Probably by the numbers about 50 to 60 nights a year. That's being reality. I'm on the sandbar, either at Snipes, Boca Chica Key, or Woman Key, with my buddy JW on a boat, having a good time and having a couple iced teas.
You doing the bonefish, the permit and stuff like that?
I'm sitting on the sandbar doing nothing, to be honest with you.
All right. So this next one, everybody has to think about a little bit. What is Coach Rovetto's favorite restaurant, and what do you eat when you go there?
Well, I'm Italian, and we cook every Sunday dinner in my house. That's our tradition. So my favorite restaurant, and I only go out to one Italian place, is Runway 84, which is right by the Fort Lauderdale. High-end stuff right there. It's the Zuppa de Pesce. Zuppa de Pesce is the seafood with the red sauce. It's got the lobster. It's the Italians, on Christmas Eve, we do the 7 fish. The Zuppa de Pesce is the Sunday version of the 7 fish, and that's my spot, no doubt.
All right, folks. Well, there you have it. If you didn't know him before, you sure know him now. He likes his pasta in Key West with a side of black coffee, and he's the head coach of the University Sharks, Dan Rovetto. Dan, thanks for your time. Thanks for being such a great sport.
Appreciate you. Have a great day.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching Inside the Park on FSPN. You can find us right here every Sunday with a recap of the previous week's game. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And on behalf of my co-host, Chappy Castillo, I'm Uncle Mug saying so long, and we'll see you next time inside the park.